It wouldn't be Halloween without a New York story. Because few New York enforcement actions for the illicit market sales have resolved, regulators say. Oh, man. Oh, boy. The vast majority of crackdown efforts by New York's regulators and law enforcement agencies related to illegal marijuana sales have failed to be resolved, officials confirmed on Monday. One potential reason New York regulators have halted administrative hearings where judges can levy fines and other penalties against those selling illicit marijuana products. The shift by the state's Office of Cannabis Management, the OCM, effectively eliminates one path to punishment after raids of unlicensed smoke shops and retail outlets. Through such incursions continue to be initiated, according to the City News website. The OCM attributed the change to a lack of resources, and the agency did not indicate when it planned to restart the administrative trials, the city reported. Of the 300 or so actions that the regulators and law enforcement have taken across the state since June, only 16 have reached some resolution, OCM Executive Director Chris Alexander said on Monday in Albany during a public hearing about the state's floundering cannabis market. That's roughly 6% of all cases. Under newly adopted laws in New York, the state can impose a $10,000 penalty for each day of illegal cannabis sales and a $20,000 per day fine on those selling cannabis after receiving an OCM order to cease operations. It appears those penalties and other enforcement actions have done little to slow illegal marijuana sales. I told you guys this. That's particularly the case in New York City, where officials estimate thousands of unlicensed stores are still operating today. In a quote, "This is a big threat to public health," Alexander told the state Senate on Monday. "We have to open more legal stores and close more illegal ones." Unregulated products from other states have been flooding the New York market, according to the OCM Director of Investigations Enforcement, Daniel Hogany. In a quote, he says, "We're seeing products from out of state," he said during the hearing. "It's not New York licensed locations supplying these stores." New York launched legal adult use sales on December of 29th of 2022, and only 26 licensed adult retailers are operating today in the entire state, well below the market expectations set by Governor Kathy Hochul. And regulators who projected opening 20 stores per month after launching adult use sales, oh man, I guess they all have egg on their face. But the OCM is moving to issue more marijuana business licenses as legal producers face a buildup of unsold inventory in the face of limited legal retail outlets. Not to mention that stuff is all old. The agency declined to comment to MJ Biz Daily on Monday, and instead a spokesperson told MJ Biz Daily to watch the Senate hearing and reference Alexander's comments on the subject matters. So it sounds like the OCM is doing nothing but deflecting as far as comments on this, and I guess they all have egg on their face, and I guess when you have egg in your face, it's tough to give a comment. But nonetheless, this is Jason Beck for the High at 9 News Hour. What do y'all think about this?
Also very tough to make an omelet when you have egg on your.
Very, very true. Very, very true, Todd. Yes.
Unless you put your face in the frying pan, find out what.
Yeah, I think New York is just completely fucked up. They just need to wipe everything out and start all over again.
Man,
Chris Alexander, shout out to Chris Alexander, the executive director of OCM. He had a great comment right there, saying they have to open more legal stores and close more illegal ones. That's a quote of the
you think that's
great
an amazing
idea.
Governmental observation right there, Rico. Man, tell you what, that's why they pay him the big bucks for this.
He's an idea man. He can't stop it.
Man,
who's gonna fund that?
He must be a Harvard grad.
Man.
Yes.
We should start making those. I did that stickers with Kathy Hochul. I did that.
That would be good. That would be good. That would be good.
I think, it's all fun and games and everything. When we make jokes about this and everything, but we called it out in the beginning.
From the jump.
Was unrealistic. It was unrealistic from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
For everything from Mayor Adams just saying, y'all can smoke weed wherever you want.
Yeah.
And then Kathy Hochul
light up
claiming
on your porch
that they're going to open. Yeah, Kathy Hochul claiming that they're going to open 20 stores a month. You know, at
We
the
all
jump
knew
there when
we all knew
they had no infrastructure.
we all knew
They had
she was
nothing.
lying through her teeth
They
when
didn't
she
even
said
have
that.
weed.
Broken
They
promises.
didn't even
Yeah,
have
they-
weed then.
Well, they
what
opened
about-
them
Well,
all.
no. They
didn't give it any
did have
licenses.
weed because all the weed is like over a year and a half old,
Yeah,
Nicole. so
that's
they
right.
had weed.
They have plenty of weed. It's just
Plenty
terrible.
of weed. It's just boof hay that no one would want to smoke and touch in a day.
They got enough
What about-
problems in New York with like trying to send the migrants on a one-way ticket to like wherever in the world they want to go.
So everybody that had the weed initially were given cultivation licenses initially in the first wave were all hemp growers in the
Yes.
state already.
Correct.
Yep.
And so
That's correct.
yeah, obviously it takes a little learning curve for them to get to transfer over from hemp.
I don't
into
believe that. It's
cannabis.
all the same plant, Nicole. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that
We know
learning
that
curve at all.
Well, we know that it's the same plant, but when you're growing it to have less THC versus more THC and different compounds,
I don't
that
I don't
qualify-
believe that these growers are that
Well-
sophisticated to grow something for more or less THC. These
No,
people
it's
are
true,
specializing
Jason.
in specific strains that produce either
Jason.
higher THC or lower THC.
It's not about the growing part. It's about the post-harvest part. It's about the curing and the drying of the product.
learning
and-
curve. for that.
Yeah. So you're not like harvesting for CBD for like smokable flower. A lot of it, most of it's going to extract to be isolated to then be converted into D8
Mhm.
and D9 from CBD. So that's the main difference. That weed that they're growing to sell has to be harvested, dried properly, cured and trimmed properly to make it to that market to reach the level of that market where that product's going to be purchased. That's the difference. It's not that it's a different plant. It's that the whole process of drying it and curing it and smoking that flower takes a lot more energy and effort than to just harvest it and dry it and then put it through an ethanol extraction system to be isolated.
So it has nothing to do with growing it. It only has something to do with harvesting.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Growing it's going to be the same, you know.
That's all I was trying
You're
to say.
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right on that.
That's all I
Jason.
was trying to say. That's all
Yeah,
I was
you're
trying to
right.
say. That's all.
I just want to clarify, you know, because there is a big difference in the smokable hemp that you're buying on the shelves and the cannabis that you're buying that's like super, you know, exclusively taken care of for smoking rather than for extract. And that's just that's the learning curve that Nicole's talking about. And that does take time and takes energy and takes a lot of like messing up before you get it right.
Well, clarity does
Jason
count.
just wanted you to say that he was right.
No, clarity counts. Clarity counts. Ask any diamond broker out there. They'll tell you clarity counts.
Yeah. They're probably just isolating the CBD and then putting it onto the weed and then they're calling it the snow bud.
I mean, there is a company.
That's what these crazy kids are doing these days.
There is a company that
Yeah.
does that. There is a company
Oh
that
yeah.
does that. I
Oh,
have.
there's a lot of companies. There's a lot of companies doing that, Jason.
Mhm. Anyone else? Anything else on this New York debacle? Seeing
Thoughts and prayers out to New York.
thoughts and prayers out to
Thoughts
New
and-
York.
Yeah,
Oh,
thoughts
man.
and prayers.
Yeah,
Yeah,
smoke
exactly.
better weed, you guys. Smoke better weed.
That usually helps.
Yes,
Thoughts and prayers.
but coming up,
Make sure you're smoking. If you are in New York, make sure you're smoking lab tested California branded weed.
oh boy.